taking a look at Alex Sarr, who is the projected #1 overall pick, who played overseas for the Perth Wildcats. So we'll be right back. All right, so here we are. We have a this is in all positions of Alex Sarr. Shout out to Adam Pike on YouTube for doing this cut up. We'll leave a link to the channel and this video in the bio. But here we go. We're gonna start this. I don't know if we're gonna go through the whole video because it's 40 minutes, but we're gonna try to get through as much as we can here. So start it like this. Working as a lob threat there. Whoever this point guard is, like, low-key kind of nice.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about his shot? Like,
Sarr?
Because the shot looks good, and when he takes them, he does take them with confidence. But historically, if a player doesn't shoot threes before going to the NBA, like with volume, history shows us they aren't going to become a volume shooter in the NBA. So, like, I don't know. I'm just asking, like, how well do you guys think it's going to translate over?
I think he could be a pop threat, but I think it's also hard because overseas ball is a little different with the spacing and stuff. But I agree. I don't think he's going to be some high volume shooter.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I don't think he'll ever be a high volume guy, but I think he's the type of guy that if you leave him open, he'll be willing to take it, and that's like, I think he'll be the player that, I don't know what his percentages are. I'd have to look that up, but I would say that he's the type of guy that, like, you can't just let him shoot. He'll probably because I think historically, I don't think that there's been the shooting development that we have in the NBA over the last 2 to 30 years is a lot different than it's been historically. So I think if there's a time and an era where you're going to see someone develop a jump shot like that at this size, it'll probably be right now.
Yeah. For his stats wise, from three, he's shooting 2 a game and he's shooting 29.8%. So
yeah,
it's not great. I don't think that's my big thing with Sarr is that obviously we should start watching a little more, but I think a lot of his skills are yet to translate to actual gameplay.
Yep.
And he's yet to put the pen to the paper, but there's a lot of stuff behind him as well that I think is really intriguing.
Yeah, for sure. And also for context, he is, remember my mouse, he's this giant guy that's way bigger than everyone else.
I don't remember what number he is. It's hard to see.
I think he's 20. I think he wears 20. Dude, this point guard is nasty. This guy is.
I was gonna say those were some terrible screens, but he navigated as a roller pretty well.
Yeah, he's gotta make contact on. He's setting Giannis screens, bro.
Yeah.
He said he does model his game after Giannis, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's gonna be super nice. It's gonna be super nice for him to be able to play. Assuming he goes #1, because I think he's going to go #1. For him to be able to play with Trae Young, it's going to make his job on offense so much easier. Like having a guy who knows how to get him open and who knows how to play with a big. And if there's reason to be, that's one of the reasons I'm so, I think, optimistic about Sarr is that the fact that I know he's going to be able to play with a elite table setter from day one.
Dude, this point guard is crazy, bro. This point guard is crazy.
Now imagine Trae Young's doing that.
Yo, he's wearing 11. Yeah. He's wearing 11 too, so it's fine. It's literally Trae Young in the Euro. Or no, he plays in Australia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
his post up is kind of nice.
He's constantly fading though.
Yeah, he's got to go straight up.
There are some mismatches that he's taking a fadeaway on every time, which is kind of alarming.
That handle is that's bad. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, let's run that back. Can you
go
back 10 seconds?
So he gets I like the clear here. Let's start from this. So I like the clearance that he has here. This floater is horrible. I don't know if that was a lob or a thriller, but I like the aggression to push in transition. But like you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't take off from that deep. He's got to have some side-to-side control. He
especially,
showed that on
especially
tape earlier,
because
though.
if you look here, this is wide open. Like in the NBA, you throw this.
Yeah,
you have to.
And look how much. There's no one on the blocks. So I guess there's help on the right, but if you go left, like it's whole clear side to go to the rim.
Yeah,
and he's taken off from borderline free throw length.
Yeah,
but that's simple stuff.
That's simple stuff. Because he misses and he gets called a charge.
Oh, was a charge?
Yeah. That's a good shot, though.
I mean, yeah, that's a good pop. He's got a good feel on like where to locate himself after screens.
Dude. Yeah, Oh, yeah.
See, but this is like.
Please tell me he doesn't get clamped here.
They switched though.
Oh, good pass. Good pass. I would say from that round of games, I think you're looking at that. I think the main takeaway is like he likes to play away. He needs to he tries to go forward. He needs to stay vertical more. Like especially in his finishing and his drives, and like I don't know. Like he just seems like he's trying to fade away too much.
Yeah, he's not. He's going away. Like for instance, on that last play, he had a mismatch, and I felt like he kind of let the younger guy, the littler guy, get on his hip, and like seal him out. And
yeah,
then
you can't get sealed
by the switch.
Yeah, you can't get sealed like that. Yeah, wow.
He has a lot. Honestly,
his mid-range bag is kind of crazy.
Yeah, he has a really nice.
Oh, I like that.
As well.
I like that move.
Yeah.
And I believe these games are in chronological order, so like I'm trying to also watch for like, that would have been nasty. That was a crazy lob though.
Yeah, they watch for improvements and stuff.
Yeah, I like that. Oh,
hey, that was at least a physical take. Got a foul too. It's gonna sound really weird, but offensively, I kind of see him being like a Bam.
Yeah.
A lot of rip throughs. Like I don't see he's not gonna be a post guy. Like I don't know if he'll be the ball handler that Bam is. I don't know. He's got a pretty nice ball handler. I'll just say passer that Bam is.
That's okay. He made it, but
that's not working against other bigs.
No. That's if you're doing that, you got to have the athleticism to dunk it.
Yeah,
like that's a Giannis move when he's throwing it on. Like, because I don't know, he is 7'2", so maybe if he's good at that, I guess. Like,
but those like throw-in shots don't go in consistently really for anybody.
Plus, there's going to be other 7'2" guys on the court guarding you.
Yeah.
All right.
That was good relocation.
Good work. He got fouled at least.
Yeah. I mean, can't get mad at that. Like, got to remember, like, he's still playing against grown men, so.
Oh. Yeah, they just follow him. I feel like they just know he's way bigger than them. They just follow him when he goes up. But this team is a real big man. His finishing is not where it needs to be.
Yeah, he needs more control. That's like the number one thing. I feel like he doesn't have a lot of control.
Which I think a lot of it is honestly his frame. Man, his jump shot looks good, dude.
Yeah.
Like in the NBA with real spacing, I think you could see that percentage go up a little bit.
Yeah, and obviously the track on jump shot development in bigs is a lot different. So it's asking a 7'1", 7'2" kid to have that consistency is a little out of reach.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of fit next to Trae Young, there's not a more obvious fit than this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. I don't know if he just lost the ball or what happened there, but
He needs to slow down.
And that's the thing about the control, right? Like that, like he is still really raw.
Yeah.
Right. And that control and that pace and navigating those tight spaces are, it's going to be something that he is going to have to learn at the next level.
Yeah. But I do think, again, he's going to have the grace to develop with one of the best playmakers, like you said, right in the league. So
see, this is the main thing I notice here is because when I'm watching a guy to see if his 3-point shot, if his percentage doesn't look good, I'm trying to see what his differences is between his misses and his makes. You can notice here, look, he rushes his shot, his feet are way too close together. He kind of bends his knees in a lot, and I feel like I'll try to pause it on one of his makes, but like he kind of twists his body to the side in the middle of the shot too.
Yeah, that one was a weird catch too. The way he gathered that, because he was trying to step into it while the ball movement.
Good spin move.
That was a good move.
Yeah, that was a good move. The one thing I'll say though, he seems like he has the footwork. Okay, is this a make or a miss? See, okay.
He's just. I mean, that's simple. His stationary catch and shoot looks good.
Yeah, see, like notice how when he's making these wide base right away.
He steps in though.
Yeah, but it's easier if his base is going to be short like that. He needs to catch the ball. Like I think he bodes much more well for a pick and pop threat if he's when.
Yeah. I obviously he's the French athletic skilled big man. He's going to get compared to Wemby. Damn. He's not going to be a dribble guy. His dribble pull-ups and his dribble shots are going to come in the mid-range.
He's got to.
He just is kind of it's just kind of weak around the rim. Looking at it,
he tries to finesse too much. Like I feel like if he just dunked the ball, he'd be fine.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but one of the main criticisms I see of Sarr is that feel for the game.
Yeah,
in that pace, and I think there are some misses and some clips here that do really show that, like that one we just saw.
Yeah, but I will say I do like his feel. If he can learn how to set better screens, which I think he will, that's just coming as he gets bigger and more experienced. When he's setting these screens and it looks like he's popping at the right times.
His shot looks good, man. I have a lot of. I think that's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's crazy that he can. That I feel more comfortable in his 3-point shot and his mid range than I do in his finishing skills as a 7-2.
Yeah, and that's not something.
This is why I don't necessarily think that the Hawks are gonna move off of one of their centers right away.
Yeah, he's he might take some time.
Or you just play power forward.
I mean, yeah.
That's why I think it's more likely that a DeAndre Hunter would get moved.
I didn't like that spacing. That was on him. He needed to finish his roll.
Yeah, there's no reason to pop up there.
I mean, that one was better. He read the double.
Yeah.
Rushed the shot, though.
But even then on this roll, I would just
keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of just a chaotic play that kind of just encapsulates him playing overseas, I think.
Mm-hmm. But again, on the pop, he was a little short.
Yep.
But he's good. He finds the pocket well. I feel like he's making the guards' lives easy, but he's making his life hard once he gets the ball. He needs to simplify his game.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm not bad at that shot either. Especially, what was the score? Yeah, they're down by 6 with a minute left. That's not a horrible shot.
I really like his potential.
That's
He got it back though. No, he didn't. Never mind.
No, he didn't.
I really like his he's gonna be utilized not just as a screener, but he can really flash the ball and rip through in the mid range.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna be his bread and butter early on.
I think him operating out of the elbow a lot.
Yes.
I think if they double, I think that he is probably a perfect screens guy or a horns guy if Capella stays.
Yeah,
Capella as the true roller, Sarr as the pocket pop guy. Because Trae Young will like to pull up 3 out of that, and he'll also like to operate into the mid range. So if he has a guy to dump it off to as well,
Mm-hmm. And also,
see, he has good spatial awareness. It's just he doesn't finish these plays a lot.
I mean, he's being too cute. All it is he's just got to be strong with his finishing. He's going up for hooks and
that.
long lays
box
when
up.
he can just do that. You know what I mean?
Isn't this the team Adelaide 36ers? Is this the team that beat the Suns that one year?
Yeah,
by 30.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back. I didn't really see it. Did he get the rebound? Oh, he missed. Oh, okay.
I mean,
yeah. Okay. I didn't know if he was the one that got the offensive rebound. I didn't see it. Good work. If these are actually in chronological order, which from the titles it seems like it is, I can see that he's getting better at certain things.
Yeah.
He's generally pretty good at putbacks from what I've seen when he does finish strong. But
yeah.
That's something I do like.
Yeah, and again on that take he just missed. I like that rip through.
I'm glad you pointed out the Bam comp because I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll ever be that type of playmaker. Oh,
that's all right.
I mean, it looks smooth.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the stats, I don't know if it's a consistency thing, but.
That's fine. It's just a tip in that he missed.
Yeah.
I like the willingness to attack the boards, though.
Oh, yeah. That's a play that I could see them abusing. And if he goes to Atlanta, the threat.
Good. Let's see, that. Literally, look at this. He's starting to. Look, that's a good screen. Even though he get around it, that's a good screen.
Yeah, and he resets it.
And he attacks the boards again. He definitely needs to add weight, though.
And that'll come. He's just young.
Yeah.
That's that's every 7'2" center. I feel like that's coming in at a young age.
Oh, it's a good read, but at 7'2", you can't get that pass broken up.
No.
I like that he's willing to shoot the shot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was moving. Yeah. Little mid post ISO. That was good. He pump faked. He showed some pace, some control. That's the main thing is that a lot of times he's got this. He needs to take one more dribble, like a pivot, when he gets into the
much better screen, man. Good work. All right, here.
Yeah,
that's a tough play. EuroLeague spacing at its finest, though, for sure. Or not Euro, over foreign league spacing. I like that move. I like that move, but that guy snatched. That guy snatched his shot. Good. Yes.
Came back at it though.
Good. Went back.
See, it's so weird because he's not capitalizing, but he's in the right spot on a lot of these rules. Like that little re-navigation to the dunker spot just to make life easy on the guards. It's just he needs to find some control in the paint. That's like really the only. That's the glaring weakness, I should say. He's still got a bucket though, so.
Yeah. Well, that's just that willingness to attack the boards, you know, to stay in position. I would like him to be a little bit more physical in the post when he's not getting the ball. Like I like him to seal that off a little bit more, you know?
Yeah, not just stand.
Like he did, like you can feel that guy on your back, you know? Because he relocates. This is a great movement. But then this guy goes up for the finish. You know, you can feel this guy on your back right here. You know he's there. You got to make your base stronger.
Yeah. Good patience on the screen. See, he's got to seal a little more aggressively there. He gets locked down the mid-range when he could be at a low post up.
Yeah.
You know, he gave up a couple feet, and they might just be he likes the mid-range, but that's just something that get to the pros, you're going to want more space to work with. Good cut.
He likes to run in transition, which is good as well.
Yeah, he's going to be an insane transition threat. Not mad at these. That was a bad screen.
Yeah, see, this is, and I think like a lot of the time, I think he just tries to do too much. Like, there's no reason to do a counter spin there. You know,
yeah.
Like you have him here. Like you just, if it's not there, just you gotta just stay. You know, you don't always gotta have his handle could definitely use some work.
I think for me, it's like he's going too fast, and that's also just some like youth stuff. Like I think he'll slow down and get more control over his pace, but that rip through travel or that rip cross travel off that catch is all just because he's going too fast. Good hero.
Deli's on the court. Let's go.
Go. Oh, good pass.
Ooh. Yeah, I think a lot of what this is just he just needs to get more comfortable with what he's doing out there, you know?
Yeah. But obviously we're nitpicking here, but I do think his weaknesses are going to be alleviated by what he's asked to do next to Trae Young.
Yeah.
And his strengths are going to be boosted because
I don't think there's a better team that could have gotten number one, to be honest, for him.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't like his fit in Detroit Houston would be pretty good actually if they would have got one.
But like if Washington had got number one and they were to get Sarr, like that's not a team that really has the infrastructure to best utilize him.
Yeah.
No, because he's not. I think I don't want to say he's not an offensive threat, but he's not a lead offensive guy. He's a complementary piece, but he can be a lead defensive guy. I think.
Always a great trait to have if they're willing to shoot the half court shots at the end of the buzzer.
Yep.
Bad
hands. He hasn't had. That's the first one he's really dropped though. So
yeah.
Honestly, I think he has really good hands. I've been impressed with some of
good
some of
closeout.
the boards.
Good closeout. Good closeout. See, that's what I want to see more of from him.
The box out
and seal out right there. Even if he didn't do it initially, just as soon as you feel that contact, just grab the ball and you're gonna go down for it. Don't stop trying to play around with the ball.
Oh,
bad shot.
Yeah. Good shot. And that's something that I think he should be the target of. Is that catch and shoot mid range?
That's
a good pass.
No, he is struggling this game. Oh my. Yeah, he's probably going to get 4 to 6 free points in the NBA just off of misses.
Yeah. Oh,
bad shot.
Okay, but still a bad shot. Live with it though. Good spacing.
Yeah, I think we could probably watch a handful more of these possessions, and then we can get into some of the grading or evaluating of the kind of where we think he is.
I was kind of feeling the same way.
Yeah, I don't think it hasn't been too much new.
Yeah,
and I don't want to continue to harp on what we see because these are offensive highlights, and a lot of his value comes from the fact that he's athletic, switchable, and scales to be a very, very good rim protector. So it's like,
yeah,
we can't obviously nitpick that if we don't have the film on it, and which is all good. It's hard to get these overseas guys.
All right. I think we can pretty much wrap it up there.
Yeah.
I think there's a double tab going right now. I think it kind of like tweaked out, but it's fine. We can finish up with this section of this team. Yeah, I want to see him be just way stronger. I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm not even clicking anything. We got like 2 tab. We got 2. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Not a bad shot. I don't know what's going on in the background here. I'm going to be honest. So we can probably wrap it up there. I think that's our sign to wrap. I don't know what's going on in the.
No, all good. You guys have any notes you want to talk about, written down or what?
I think my main one was just like he functionally needs to add a little bit of strength, which I think will come as he comes over to the NBA. Get some that and a better diet, better training. Function needs to add a little bit more strength and needs to initiate contact a little bit more. He needs to play more physically. I think he shies away from contact a little bit too much. But other than that, I think functionally the jump shot looks good for progression to the NBA. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's going to be a high level post player right away, obviously, but I think he can. I think he'll be better as a lob threat because he's so big. obviously, with a real point guard. But other than that, not much.
Yeah.
You guys have anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like glaring, like, I'll start with the negatives. I'll end with the positives. Glaring negatives. I also noted down that he's constantly fading away from contact, and I have in all caps slow down, because that man, he is going out when he has the ball in the fast breaker. He's doing those rip throughs. He's coming in at 100%, which is great, but he needs to be able to switch gears and knock it down to 70. Because even though, like we said, he looks to Giannis for like player comparisons or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis can slow it down to 70%. You know what I mean? Even though it looks like he's just running Duncan, he's doing a quick slow down Euro that's getting him open, or he's doing a spin, and it's like he's not doing that all at 100% speed. And I think that'll come, but that's kind of the main thing with me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the way I kind of think about it too is that he lets the defender kind of dictate the pace at which he plays. So he gets, I mean, the defense, it speeds him up a ton, and you can see that. That's why so many of his misses are just like, I think they're misses where the defense just kind of forces him to react maybe a bit too soon, or in some instances a bit too late. And I think with time, with reps, he's going to continue to kind of settle into his own pace a bit more. And yeah, the physicality definitely is a thing, but that's not something that's super uncommon for young bigs who typically don't have super filled out frames yet. I think the NBA does a good job at letting or having their players putting on weight and putting on strength is never an issue. Typically, these teams know what to do with that, and I think as he kind of his conditioning just gets better, that will come along for sure. The jump shot, I am a bit surprised. Like I've watched an okay amount of his film, but it always does surprise me still to see just how many jumpers he's taking, because he does take a lot of jumpers.
Yeah,
that's it. Sometimes you watch and it's like, I think that's one of the main things he's trying to get to, is that jump shot. That's like a priority of his, and yeah, the form looks good, but I don't think there's for me, as far as strengths, like he is the number one overall prospect for a reason, and yeah, I do think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of his strengths could come on the defensive side, and the offense is more of when the record hits type stuff.
I watched some other film on him. For his pros, for me, I said like the shot looks good even if it's not going in all the time. I think his footwork is pretty good, even though he does like lose the ball sometimes. I think his footwork does look good. I think it's just when he gets too rushed, it sometimes can break down. But when he's in control, the footwork looks good. Extremely mobile on both sides. He has a good idea of space, and concept of space and where to be. It's just about taking those opportunities more. And then for defense, he's going to be able to probably hedge 1 through 5 and probably switch 3 through 5, maybe 2 through 5 if it's a bigger shooting guard. And he's going to be a pretty decent shot blocker right out the gate, especially as a help side defender. I think on defense, you're probably looking at kind of a Jaren Jackson, Bam type build almost.
Yeah, I like the Jaren Jackson defensive comparison.
Yeah,
for sure. No, for my strengths, I said it like insane in the fast break. Like I think he's going to be very effective almost immediately there. I also think, while Jeff, you said that you hope that he becomes more of a post player, I don't think that'll ever really be a thing of his.
Yeah,
I would hope he gets there, but I don't. I think he has that nice rip through I was talking about, and I think using him in actions to come up, grab the ball and just go like off of maybe like a pin down to pop up at the free throw line.
Yeah.
Like you can work a lot with that, and I think it'll be a little different. But he adds some spacing with, even if that jumper never fully translates and he stays at a 30 to 33% clip and he shoots only 2 to 3 a game. I think the fact that the way he attacks is basically always from the mid range will add some spacing as well. So I don't know. I'm not too worried about his spacing, which I think is a positive.
Sure. And like 30% from 3, for example, on like 2 or 3 attempts a game is still pretty good for a center. Like that's, most bigs still aren't even really getting close to that. And like mainly with shooting, it's like you don't even have to make all your shots, but like if defenses are going to treat you like somebody who can hit a shot like that, just opens things up so much more on the court in today's age of spacing.
Yeah, for sure. So then for everyone watching, we're going to be doing pretty much a 5 tool grade to come up with a composite score. And we're also gonna eventually do a weighted system. We're not gonna do that today, which I'm gonna probably do off camera. But so we're all gonna try to vote on what we would grade these 5 categories on offense. We didn't watch any defensive film, so we'll probably do that ourselves. We won't do it on camera, but for his shooting, the 5 categories are shooting, ball handling, playmaking, self-creation, and then like intangibles, which are kind of just like the things that you kind of you can't like measure necessarily, but things like shot IQ, you know, the spatial awareness, stuff like that. So for shooting, I don't know what you guys are thinking. I was thinking of doing like a 2.5 or a 2 out of 5. We're gonna do it on a 5-point scale. I think he functionally looks good as a shooter. The percentages aren't high, so I wouldn't put him as an above average shooter. Because like average shot, 3-point shot is like 36% in the league. So like,
yeah, I do like though how he navigates in the mid range. I was thinking about putting him at like a 2.5 or a 3 is what I would probably do. Because I do like the fact that he gets to a spot in the mid range and he's confident.
Yeah. I think compared to bigs, I'd probably say maybe a 3.5, but just overall, I think probably a 2. I think a 2 is probably good for him. He's not a non-shooter in the traditional sense, but also not a shooter in the traditional sense either.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Me and Matisse had a 2.5. You had a 2. I think we can rock with a 2.5 grade on that.
Yeah.
Ball handling, I would probably put this at like a 1.5 or a 2, maybe. I think he is very loose with the ball. He can lose it a lot. But he does have a willingness to push the pace when he does get the ball. So I think that bodes well. But
in transition,
he attacks from the dribble.
Right. In transition, I like the handle a lot more than in the half court. Obviously, I think being a guy who can put the ball on the floor when he absolutely has to and make plays out of that is something that you're going to look for from him. So but again, it's not a tight handle. Like in the film we saw, he would lose the ball like a good bit, and yeah, I'd probably say about like a 1.5 to a 2 for the handle as well.
I agree.
So yeah, I think we can go with like I think a 2 would be fair there. Or do you guys want to do 1.5 or a 2?
Well, it basically depends. Are we comparing this to bigs? Or are we doing?
Well, this would just be an overall grade.
Overall, I think 1.5.
Yeah. And then I added another category because I completely forgot to add it. Finishing is probably pretty important. I think probably like it's 3.5 for me, 3 or a 3.5. I think I think he can finish. I really like the way he attacks the glass and does and is willing to put back. But I think he still has a ways to go when he's not just catching the ball and putting it up right away.
Yeah, I think if we're talking like numbers and like functionality, he's above average finisher.
Yeah.
But I think visibly, just watching those, you can see that he doesn't have quite control or the power when finishing. But like you said, the lobs and the tip-ins are really impressive. I'd probably do like a 3 flat is what I was thinking.
I was thinking 3 as well, just because the touch is just not that great with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then playmaking wise, there wasn't much. I don't really think they asked him to play make that often. But the few reads that he did have, I did like when he catches the ball and he's willing to kind of go into those DHOs right away. I like those. I think those will translate pretty well. I think he has a good idea of some of the reads he wants to make, but I don't know if he's comfortable making them. I think he's a pretty subpar playmaker right now, but I think he has the ability to kind of do that. So I would probably say like a 1.5. I do think I like his thought process when he tries to play make. I just don't think he's there with the actual ability to do it yet.
Yeah, I'd probably go with honestly, I was thinking like a 1.
A 1?
Because while he did make those reads, other than DHOs, a lot of his passes were off target and wild. Like there were a couple where he got him in the post and he would zip them real quick, but it wasn't an effective pass because the guard had to tip it and chase it down and gather himself. So it's like, obviously we didn't watch every single play we did but from what we watched, I think a 1.5 is kind of where I'd go.
Yeah, I agree. And then for self-creation, I think I'd probably put it at like, I think again, this is like a 3. I think he bodes well for the ability to self-create, especially in the mid-range. I don't think he's going to be an off-the-dribble creator right away. I don't really know if he'll ever get to that. But he does have footwork that he can go to. So and counter moves. It's just the ability to piece those together, is what you really want to see. So I'd probably say he's about average, and maybe a little bit above average.
Yeah, I'd say a 3. I like that.
And then intangibles, I think this is his best point. Obviously, I think he can get sped up a lot, but I think his awareness for space, his willingness to do things like go for offensive rebounds, putbacks. I think the screen setting could be included in this. I think he needs to grow as a screen setter a little bit, but he started to get better throughout the clips that we watched as the season went on. So I would honestly say this is probably like a 3.5 to a 4 for me. Honestly, I think the only negative is really the screen setting, and I think the pace can get out of hand a little bit, but
yeah,
I think in a simplified role that won't be as problematic for him.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I'd probably go 4 for intangibles. Kind of like you said, like getting sped up, this screen setting are not really strengths of his at all right now. But I think there's such a clear path to this guy being a really, really high level NBA player. And for a lot of prospects in the draft, you can't always say that. And because the path is just so clear for this guy being that, I think I kind of want to go for a 4 for intangibles.
Yeah, I had a 3.5 written down, so I'm good with going up to a 4. I think a big thing about this also is he has good hands. He's a little fumbly with like his ball handling, but in terms of catching, he had some really good hands. And honestly, like sometimes he has too good of hands. He catches it out of position. He just tries to go up because he's in rhythm. But it's like, and to touch on the pace thing, it's just take another dribble, calm down, and go up with it. So I do think he has some weaknesses there with the pace. His screen IQ, again, can be worked on. And I do think he's a little slow to make reads, but also that's not what he's going to be used as a basketball player. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not going to be making those reads. So I do think 3.5, 4, I'm good with.
Okay. I put it down as a 4. And then I did pretty much an average of of these scores. So it looks like he's listed at a below average offensive player right now. He scored as a 2.5 out of 10, which is about an average offensive player, which I can honestly agree with. I think there's a lot of places for him to grow on offense. I think he has the ability to really get there, but I don't think it's all functional right now.
Yeah. I think a lot of his function is going to come from how he works with the guards that he's drafted with.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Or drafted by.
Sure.
The offense, like I said, is more of a icing on the cake because he's an insane defensive prospect. Mm-hmm. And obviously, we're not going to be talking about defensive highlights we didn't watch. So I do expect his average to go up once we do that side
for sure. Awesome. All right, give me 1 second here, and I just need to pull up the next. All right, so we just got finished up recording our other parts of the episode for our Alex Sarr breakdown. Unfortunately, Ryan had to head out, so me and Matthias are going to be taking a look at some of his defensive coverages. This is titled Pick and Roll coverage. We already gave credit. I am completely blanking on whose account this is.
Adam Pike, I believe.
Adam Pike, yes. Adam Pike. Shout out to this guy on YouTube. He has some great cut-ups for Sarr. So we took a look at his all possessions. That was probably earlier in this video. But we're going to be taking a look at some of his defensive stuff because we didn't have time in our episode. But with that being said, we're going to take a look at some Alex Sarr defensive possessions here. Yeah, that wingspan is crazy.
Yeah, the wingspan athleticism allows him to kind of be at level without giving up anything.
Man, I wish he would be more aggressive at the rim. Just even on defense, man.
Mm-hmm. So late to react on the X.
Yeah.
Good feet, good hands. That was a good possession.
Yeah. I like him to get a contest there.
Yeah, that was kind of an off-rhythm shot, but...
Oh, good block. Yeah, he's... Oh, my. Yeah, he's going to be...
He covers a lot of ground. Like, he's able to backpedal. I would like for him not to take such angles. I feel like he's giving up a rim run on some of these, like, when he's backpedaling off the drop. And that's okay because he could shot block, and maybe he's trying to bait in the shot block. But you can't give too many NBA players a step like that. I feel like it's just an easy bucket.
Yeah, but these could also let some of these things could be scheme.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good cutoff. He kept up with the guard.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I think his recovery ability is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, he plays that perfect.
Yeah. Just got jumped out. He got pump faked.
Oh, which happens.
Yeah.
I like him to play. I like him to play a little higher.
Yeah, I feel like he gets sucked in a little bit.
That's all right.
You know what I mean? Like, he conceded so much ground. Like, he stopped the roller, but I don't know, though. They threw that lob that they threw, the blue team threw, was pretty nasty. Maybe they're trying to game plan the lob, but then again, I feel like he's low on that drop right there. He gave him a nice layup. Yeah, like that was bad positioning.
Yeah. See, this is the problem. I don't like that either, because if you're gonna come up on the screen, you're gonna hedge this far. You got to pick who you're gonna stop. Are you guys switching this, or like, I don't know if this is a communication issue, but like, he doesn't look like he's gonna. This is supposed to be a switch. They don't call it out, and he's still watching the screener. You know, he comes up
Yeah, he
right
needs to
here.
hedge this harder.
Yeah,
He needs to slide at level. He backpedals immediately. That's the issue.
Yeah.
And then it just gave up a wide open drive. I agree. That's a big weakness on the. That was better. He stunted and they kept pace with him. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't his fault.
They forced it into a tough shot instead of. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good recovery though.
Like, I guess there was
that's good.
there.
That's good work. No, I like that. I like that coverage. He realizes he's got this help coming.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I'm gonna play this lob. I'm making
sure.
Because
that's true. Because if he gives up and tries to help a little bit, there's clear side.
But this is one of those things with the rebounding. I would really like him to just be more physical down here.
Yeah.
Locks out a little bit more.
He's very vertical on his rebounding in terms of like his space.
Oh, good navigation.
Mm-hmm.
That was a better box out too. I don't know if you saw that.
I know, I wasn't looking. This is what I think he can be really good at.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, yes. Oh my God, yes.
And I think the big thing is, like, when we were watching the at level pick and rolls, I wanted him to stunt a little longer. You know what I mean? Like, these are fine. You're pressing and then recovering on purpose. But he has the agility to slide his feet with these guards. He needs to do that more. He needs to not concede space because he doesn't need to. I think he's athletic enough to keep up with all these guys. That was a good read. Baited him into the lob. Oh, this is that. We watched that earlier. Oh my God. Great mobility.
Yeah. Because even though he's not super fast, he moves in space well, you know. Oh, good recovery. Mm-hmm. Good recovery. Good recovery.
Little lost, but he figured it out. Yeah. That also could have been a communication thing.
But yeah, but getting lost in rotation, I mean, if you're rotating like that, you know, sometimes guys overhelp.
Good closeout.
Good way to good contest and then allowing a wide open pass.
That one, he was late. He was late on the stunt. And
yeah.
You got caught in no man's land. You got caught at level.
I don't like that. That's bad.
Yeah. That one looked like they were just trying to double.
This is what I'm interested in seeing. Hold on, I want to see.
Yeah.
Let's go over.
The aggression.
Yeah. This is what's going to drive his overall prospect grade up. I already knew that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a good move, but that's good defense at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's able to keep up with these guards. I don't think that he needs to concede space immediately when he's in that drop.
I agree.
And also, like you said, it could be a scheme thing. He might get to the team and they're like, "You're not dropping like this," like,
Yeah.
or they might want him to continue because maybe he has too much value as a chaser doing shit like that.
Yeah. Is that Patty Mills? Looks like Patty Mills. Patty Mills played the NBA this year. What am I talking about?
I look, he forgot he was in the league though. Where did he play for this year?
Hawks, and then he got traded somewhere. I don't remember he got traded. All right. Yes, good. I like that he keeps his hand up. He realizes, that's one thing that some big men struggle with when they do switch on the perimeter is they don't use their length and their size to their advantage,
Yeah, there's an intimidation factor with having the hands up. It really closes the feeling.
Like I think Rudy Gobert sometimes struggles with like that, keeping using his length to contest on the perimeter. He's just worried about not getting beat more than see, this is great.
I mean, that's great defense.
Mm-hmm. Like this. All right. Yep. Moves his feet. I one thing I will say, I think he does need to work on is not backpedaling as much.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to slide more. That's good.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that I think like he's a little better at it on ball, but when he's off ball in the pick and roll, he really backpedals.
Yeah. He needs to use his length to his advantage there. And backpedaling concedes your length.
And like when he's coming up and smothering like this, like that's where he's best. Like he's at best when he's an aggressive defender.
Yeah. He communicates though.
Yeah, and he's very active. Like that's
I can tell though, like he's not playing on the best team because a lot of these guys aren't communicating on switches and screens and stuff like that, which I would like to see. Obviously, that's going to be better on an NBA team just in general with coaching and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a good contest. Just a good shot. He does a good, he does do a good job of keeping his hands up, but I when he starts to get in movement, I would say that he needs to try to keep his hands. He puts his hands down when he starts moving.
Yeah,
which,
he puts on their hips.
Which he just needs to he needs to use his length there to kind of.
Yeah.
So for on-ball defense, I would say I think he's above average. I think he does have some work to do as a post-up defender. Because I hate using these examples because everyone's going to kill them. But like when you're playing a Jokic or an Embiid, how are you going to absorb that contact that they like to initiate to create post space? I think he could do better there. I think it does show up in the rebounding a little bit.
Yeah, I think he just overall everywhere in his game, he needs to learn how to absorb contact.
Oh, you know what? That's a great thing that I forgot to add into this, so we can have a sixth tool is rebounding.
Oh yeah,
I completely forgot to put that in there. I'm just gonna give the other guy a score because I think I know where it would be at.
That being said, on ball, I do really like his versatility, and I have him at like a 3.5, honestly. I think he'd be a really good defender.
I would probably say as well. I think on ball defense, he's probably about a 3.5, especially even in the switch. But that's just how it goes. Off ball, I do like the way he moves in space. I think he could do better with the back pedal. I think he's probably an above average as well. I don't think he's good. I think he's pretty good off ball. I would say he's probably about the same 3.5 as well.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking about his weak side effectiveness as a shot blocker. That immediately raises it up. I was thinking like a 3, but then if you add that weak side, because that was more of like a pick and roll, like coverage is outside, just a shot blocking. I'm good with going with another 3.5.
Yeah, which we didn't see any help side defensive stuff on there, but I think when you see the rotation, when he gets in rotation, he's good in rotation. He is good as a recovery player. So I think you're looking at that as a positive for him that boosts him up, gives him an extra point there. So I would say 3.5. I think that's a pretty good score there. Shot blocking, I don't know how many blocks per game he averaged. Let me look.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Let me look it up here. Shout out Basketball Reference. So this season he averaged 1.3 blocks per game. So, like, how many minutes did he play a game though? He only played 17 minutes a game. So, like, if he's going up, I think that bodes well. If you're looking at his per 36, he's averaging 2.8 blocks a game. So, I think I would probably say he's a 3.5 as well on this, are all around. I think I don't think he's going to be. I think his best trait is going to be his recovery ability. And I think that bodes well. I don't think he's an elite shot blocker. I don't think he's like a Chet or someone like that, where I would probably give Chet out of college like a 4 or 4.5. I don't think it was because Chet's not perfect at it, but
no. Yeah, like the timing and stuff you can see he doesn't necessarily have on the defensive end versus someone that just in this draft like Klingon. I would think it's a better shot blocker because he has more of the timing and all that. I'm good with another 3.5 across the board.
Yeah, rebounding, I think this is the part that really brings him down on defense. If we're doing overall rebounding as a whole, which we kind of did offensive rebounding in the intangible section, of just being, spatial awareness and stuff like that and attacking. Rebound, I think this is probably an average to a below average grade for me, probably a 2 or a 2.5. I just think he doesn't deal with physicality well in the post. He doesn't box out good enough for his size.
I agree. I don't think he's the strongest rebounder from up. Oops, I'm throwing my phone. I wanted to check his rebounding numbers real quick though.
So he averaged 4. Only 4 a game.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably do 2.5 is fine.
Yeah,
whatever you want.
I'm gonna say he's an average rebounder. I would probably say. Physicals, I think this is where you're probably getting a 4.5. Maybe a 4.75 if we really want to get specific. I don't think he has perfect speed. But he has
perfect physical is like Victor Wembanyama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't get much better than that. But,
so we'll put that down as a 4.5. I think is pretty perfect there.
Yeah,
intangibles wise, I think again this is where he shines as well. I would say this is a 4 or 4.5. I think he has an understanding of where he needs to be. I think the only knock on his intangibles is just, I think the one thing is he's good in space and he's spatially aware, but I think he needs to work his feet better. Like we said, he needs to stay more mobile. He needs to slide. He needs to not backpedal and take false. He takes in football, it would be false steps. He takes too many false steps on defense.
Yeah. I'm a little lower. I think his intangibles on the offensive end, honestly, were a little more impressive. I felt like just watching the pick and roll, I felt like, again, I guess it's just harping on one thing, but he concedes so much space and he's so athletic that he doesn't need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when Brook Lopez comes out on level pick and roll, he's going to drop and he's going to drop fast because it's Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
He can move. I don't get why he's dropping so fast, and that could be a scheme thing, but I'm thinking like a 3.5. I think about even with his offense.
I mean, if I'm
if
at
I
a
were
4,
to get if I were to get nitpicky, I would say like 3.25 because I think it should be lower. But we're not doing quarters, so
yeah, I'll probably say a 3.5 as well. I think it's funny because we put 3.5 for everything, pretty much.
We can try to look over this again. And
yeah, I mean, on ball, I think off ball we could honestly raise it to a 4 as an off ball.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well.
Because I think his ability to move in space, his recovery is just insane, to be honest. But yeah, I think everything else is pretty good though. Rebounding at 2.5. Honestly, I think we can lower that. I think it should be a 2.
Okay.
Which is fine, but
I'm happy with shot blocking at 3.5.
Actually, I'm going to keep the rebounding as average. I think he's an average rebounder. I just don't think he plays enough minutes and stuff to.
Yeah, because per 36, he'd be what, 8.8?
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah. All right, so that comes with the cumulative defensive score of a 3.58, which puts him in that above average is anywhere from between 2.5 to a 3.5, and then 3.5 to 4.5 would probably be like the good to elite tier, and then 4.5 to 5 is like they're perfect at it.
Yeah.
So, and that comes out with the player grade as a 3.04, which I think fits pretty well to what we got here.
No, I agree, because I think there's some real questions in his offense and even just like in his defensive decision making. But other than that, he's a great prospect, and he's set to go to Atlanta. I think that's this. I would have him number 1 on my mock, and I think it's going to fill the holes. So he's going to be a very good player. I would be shocked if he wasn't.
Yeah, I agree. Awesome. All right. Well, throw this at the end of the video. So I appreciate anyone who's watched through this scouting report. Keep your eye out. If you want to get draft talk, we're going to be doing 2 to 3 episodes a week of prospect reviews. So if you want to keep up with prospects, we're going to be going pretty deep into the first round and even a little bit into the second round, pick out some of those guys. So if you want to keep up with those, leave a like, comment, subscribe down below, and peace out.
Peace.